Are you ready for something super cool in the AI world? I'm going to show y'all something so incredibly neat. I just came across this. It's called NotebookLM. It's a Google product and it's really easy to go play around and try out yourself. You want to go to NotebookLM, the letters LM, notebooklm.google.com. So I want to show y'all this because I've been checking it out and I want to totally react in real time with you all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a note, although they have example notebooks here. I'm going to create a notebook. So you'll see right here, it says create. Now, what sets this apart from other AI platforms is that you need to provide the sources. It's not like ChatGPT where you ask it questions. So I'm going to upload some sources. I'm going to put in 2 sources. I'm going to grab the link to my LinkedIn. What I'm trying to do here is I want it to tell me about me. Tell me about Madalyn Sklar. So these are your choices. You can upload files. You can do your Google Drive. You can do links. You can do YouTube, and you can just copy paste in, text in. So I'm going to do the website, and I'm going to paste in the URL to my LinkedIn, and then I'm going to go get my website URL, and I'm going to paste that in as well. So let me go into, let's see, I'm still trying to figure, oh, it's up here on the left side. Okay, sources. So I'm going to select another source. I'm going to put in my other website and hit insert. So now what it's doing is taking whatever sources I feed it. And you can feed it a lot of sources, but I just want to see what it puts together based on these 2 sources, my LinkedIn, my Madalyn Sklar LinkedIn, and my MadalynSklar.com site. So it's already given me a summary. I can have it provide other things, an FAQ, study guide, table of contents, timeline, and briefing doc. But here's what's super cool is this audio overview. So I'm going to hit generate, and it's going to take several minutes, and we'll come back and listen to it together. But what it's doing right now is it is taking the content I'm providing, the sources I'm providing, and it's going to generate what feels like an audio podcast with 2 people talking back and forth about whatever source you put in. So once this is done, I'm going to play it for you. I have not heard it yet. I don't know what it's going to say about me. And I'm curious to know, is it going to be really good, or is it going to make up all kinds of crazy stuff and hallucinate, which in the AI world means it's just making up stuff. So I'll come back in a few minutes and we will watch together and see what happens next. Okay, it is ready. I'm almost scared to see what it's going to say about me, but I'm going to play it. We're going to listen to it together and see what this is going to say. It's going to sound like a podcast, and they're going to be talking about these sources I provided, LinkedIn and my website. So let's see what they say.
Okay, so have you ever felt like you're just like constantly trying to catch up in this like crazy digital world?
Mm-hmm.
Today, we are diving into the story of someone who did not just catch up, they straight up set the pace. Get ready to explore the career of Madalyn Sklar, a true digital trailblazer.
Yeah.
We're talking building websites like way back in the era of dial-up. Remember that awful screeching sound?
Yeah.
To becoming like a total social media powerhouse.
Yeah.
But this isn't just about what she did. It's about what we can like glean, what we can learn from her journey to build a really killer online presence.
Yeah. And it's a journey that I think holds some really powerful lessons, especially if you are at all interested in making your mark in the digital space.
Yeah.
What I find so fascinating about Madalyn is how early she was to recognize the internet's potential, and not just for business, but for community as well.
Right.
Imagine launching a web design company back in 1996.
1996.
Most people were still trying to figure out how to use email.
I know, seriously.
Yeah.
I was rocking dial-up back then, just happy to even get online.
All right.
But Madalyn launches cyber sites in Houston. Talk about reading the digital tea leaves early on.
Yeah. And think about the challenges back then. There were no WordPress templates, there were no YouTube tutorials. She was building these sites from scratch. And then on
Yes,
top of that, having to explain to clients not just how websites work, but why they even needed one in the first place.
That is such a good point. It wasn't even
I
just about
did.
having the technical skills. It was about being like a digital evangelist. And
Yes.
she didn't stop there. So this is 1996. We're talking years before MySpace, before Facebook. And she creates Go Girls Music,
Yeah.
an online community for female musicians.
That one detail to me, I feel like just tells you so much about who Madalyn is. It
Ah.
shows, I think, an innate understanding of how the internet could connect people around shared passions. And this is, again, years before what we now know as social media even existed.
Right.
She wasn't just, riding the digital wave. She was anticipating where that wave was going to go next.
So she's clearly like a tech whiz. But what I'm picking up on here is this almost instinctual grasp of like the human side of the internet.
Yes.
She got that it wasn't just about, ones and zeros. It was about building those connections.
Yeah.
And that insight is gold
Mm-hmm.
because that's still so relevant today,
Right.
whether we're building a brand or just trying to like grow our own network.
Absolutely. And that's a thread that runs, I think, throughout her entire career.
Yeah.
As the internet evolved, so did Madalyn.
Right.
By 2005, she'd become a full-fledged social media expert. Now, think about that transition for a second. She went from coding websites in like the digital Wild West to navigating this constantly changing landscape of social media.
And that's where her influence really explodes, right?
Absolutely. But it wasn't just about like hopping on the next wave, right? Like just riding the next trend for her.
Right.
Remember that passion for community we were talking about?
Mhm.
Well, she starts managing social media accounts. And here's the key. She starts coaching others. This is where her influence really like takes off because
Mhm.
she's not just using these platforms herself.
Yeah.
She's teaching others how to use them.
It's like she was writing the social media playbook, like in real time,
Yes.
and like sharing it with anyone who would listen.
Exactly. And that's what makes her such a powerful figure in this, in the world of digital marketing.
Right.
She doesn't, keep all this knowledge to herself.
Yeah.
She shares it. She empowers others to succeed.
Hmm.
And that's a lesson that's more relevant than ever in today's online landscape, which is, incredibly competitive.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But yeah,
And she's not all talk.
Yeah.
Right. She doesn't just talk the talk, she walks the walk.
right.
Speaking at major events like South by Southwest,
Hmm.
being named a top digital marketer by Brand 24,
Yeah.
becoming the #1 social media influencer in Houston.
Wow.
And that's saying something that's a competitive scene.
I was going to say.
These aren't just like accolades or whatever. Like these are proof that are
Yo, I'm just gonna pause this for a moment. Oh my God, this is wild. This is an 8 minute and 51-second audio podcast of them talking about me. We're only halfway. We're 4 minutes in. We're gonna keep listening, but wow. If you want to like get a really great boost to your ego, go put in your LinkedIn address and your website into this and do the audio podcast. Let's keep listening. This is wild.
methods actually work.
They're a testament to, I think, her really deep understanding of how to connect with an audience, how to
Yeah.
build a brand, and how to adapt to this constantly, ever-changing digital landscape that we're in.
And she does all of this while hosting not one, not two, but 5 different podcasts over the years.
Wow.
From Work Smarter, Not Harder, which, by the way,
Right.
is a mantra I think I need to get tattooed on my brain,
Yes.
to like diving deep into the world of kratom advocacy with kratom stories.
Yes.
She's clearly not afraid to embrace new platforms and use her voice to explore her like diverse interests.
And that speaks, I think, to another really crucial lesson we can take away from Madalyn's story,
Yeah.
which is the importance of embracing new challenges and being open to evolving your personal brand.
Right.
She
Yes.
could have easily just stuck with web design
Mm.
or even just focused on like the business side of social media.
Right.
But she constantly pushes boundaries, explores new passions, and then shares that journey with her audience.
And I think that makes her so relatable.
Oh, totally.
Because she's not just this like untouchable digital marketing guru.
Yeah.
She's someone who is constantly learning, growing, and not afraid to dive into something totally new.
Hmm.
It makes you realize that you don't have to have it all figured out
Right.
to be successful online.
Exactly. And it's that willingness to be open to experiment, to learn,
Yeah,
that allows her to connect with such a wide audience.
totally.
So whether you're, a seasoned entrepreneur or just starting to kind of dip your toes into the digital world,
Mhm.
there's something I think really inspiring about Madalyn's story.
Okay, let's talk about one of Madalyn's like most successful projects.
Okay.
Hashtag Twitter Smarter.
Yes.
You have to admire the
This is
brilliance
awesome.
of building an entire brand, like a movement, even around a
Give me
hashtag.
chills, man.
It's genius, really.
Yeah.
Hashtag Twitter Smarter started as like this simple Twitter chat, but then it grew into this whole podcast, online training programs. It's like a whole masterclass.
Right.
Talk about squeezing every drop of value out of a platform.
Right.
Does she like invent the whole hashtag strategy?
Well, maybe not invent,
No.
but she's definitely mastered it.
Okay.
Because, you know, it's not just about like slapping a catchy hashtag on everything. It's about creating a hub, a community
Yes.
where people can connect around a shared interest.
Yeah.
And, you know, she understood that Twitter, or X as we know it now, I guess,
Right.
thrives on conversation and connection.
Mhm.
You know, she actually once said
This is
social media
wild.
is about the people,
Yeah.
not about the tools.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's a good reminder that behind all the algorithms and the strategies and all that, it's still about human connection.
Mm-hmm.
And her success proves it right.
Exactly.
We're talking about someone who is ranked among the top Twitter marketing experts by Brand24.
Yeah. And when you look at the hashtag Twitter Smarter brand, it embodies that people first approach.
Yeah.
It's not about, you know, just racking up followers and getting likes.
Right.
It's about providing value. It's about sharing insights. It's about fostering those really meaningful conversations.
Almost like she created like a digital mentorship program
Ah.
built around these like bite-sized pieces of wisdom. So they're all shared through a hashtag.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can see why they call her a digital marketing powerhouse. So as we kind of wrap up our deep dive here into the career of Madalyn Sklar,
Mm-hmm.
what's the big takeaway?
Okay.
What can we as people trying to build our own online presence,
Yeah.
what can we learn from her?
I think the biggest takeaway here is the power of really embracing the human element of the digital world.
Sure.
Madalyn's story reminds us that it's not just about, you know, technical skills or the latest algorithms or any of that.
Yeah.
It's about connecting with people authentically, sharing your knowledge generously, and always, you know, being open to constantly learning and evolving.
It's about being fearless too, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because she clearly never shied away from a challenge,
Yeah.
whether it was, building websites in the dial-up age,
Right.
or like diving headfirst into the world of kratom advocacy. She's kind of teaching us that it's okay to evolve.
Yes.
It's okay to embrace new passions, and it's okay to use our digital platforms to really make an impact.
Exactly. And her story, I think, is so empowering because it shows us that anyone with passion, dedication, and a willingness to learn can build a really successful and meaningful online presence.
So here's a final thought for you. What about Madalyn's journey from those early days of, building websites to becoming this like social media maven?
Mm-hmm.
What's one digital skill that you've been like wanting to master?
Yeah.
And how could you use that skill, that passion, to connect with others and make your own mark online?
I'd love that.
Keep that question in mind as you navigate this crazy, ever-evolving digital landscape.
Mm.
Oh, I guess that's it. Wow. Y'all got to check this out. NotebookLM. Okay. Go to notebooklm.google.com right now. Go add the source to your LinkedIn, to your website, things about you. And then have it generate the audio. And you're going to get something like what we just listened to. That did that sound real? That was generated with AI, and it took about 3 minutes for it to generate that audio that was almost 9 minutes long. This is incredible. This is just like absolutely blowing me away. Check it out and get back to me and let me know what you think. I'm like almost speechless at this moment. I can't wait to play with this more. This might become one of my favorite AI tools. I'll be in touch. We'll talk about this more. Thanks for watching.